I'm outside at the Beverly Hills Hotel with Emily Blunt, the star of The Young Victoria, who's here in town for the Golden Globes. That's tomorrow night. I'm going to ask you the stupid question they're going to ask you on the red carpet. What are you wearing?
I'm not sure. It's kind of a toss-up at the moment between a few different ones, but they're all beautiful, so I think it'll be sort of which one I feel more brave about. I think I probably want to do something a bit more brave. And there's one that's simpler, and I can pull it off and it's easier, but then there's this one which I should just like pluck up the courage and do it, and if people hate it, they hate it, you know.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, do you live in fear of showing up in People magazine as one of the worst dressed?
It's hard not to worry about it because it's sort of the whole deal at those events now. It's not really about the films or the performances, it's all about the dress, particularly for the women.
I'm supposed to be the alternative to this.
That's what I love.
And I fall right into it because you're
know.
wearing this beautiful blue dress.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So
actually enjoy it. I mean, I think it's all part of the fun, and you should just embrace it.
Well, you've been, I was thinking about you. I mean, I'm going up to Sundance next week, and
cool.
You're not going in. You have no reason to be there this year. Because Sunshine Cleaning, of course, was you, and you've become one of these actresses that can get a movie made. And
I
it's
still
funny.
think that
you don't.
No.
I see movies getting, because you have a list of movies here. I'm going to go right through them. We're going to talk about Young Victoria, but first I'm going to ask you about the Adjustment Bureau.
But that's Matt Damon gets that off the ground, not me.
And the Wolfman is Benicio del Toro. These are the studio films.
Sure, yeah.
Wild Target.
Oh yeah, that's a little independent I did with Bill Nye, who's my friend. So we had fun. It's a silly British comedy. It's nice.
Do you think it'll come out in this country?
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. Fun. And then you're doing Gulliver's Travels. That's a UK movie too, right?
Well, that's a Jack Black movie, so that's a big Fox Studios did that as well.
Why do I think that was done in England? Was it shot over there?
We did shoot it in England, yeah, but it was not UK financed.
And Gnomeo and Juliet?
Gnomeo and Juliet. It is
spelled G-N-O-M-E-O.
You know what that story's about. Yeah.
And then Shoot the Messenger. Is that real?
That is not real. I mean, I actually love that script, but I don't know if it's happening or not yet.
And something called The Girl?
That I also was attached to, and I still hope it happens, but it's an increasing impossibility to get tiny films off the ground, it seems. I mean, no matter who you are or who's behind it, I hear that people much bigger than I am also have the same trouble, and they're passion projects that often gather dust until you really make a play for them and don't get seduced by something else. And so I think I just need to, if I'm going to do The Girl, it's going to have to be I'm going to have to be the one making tons of phone calls to get it made.
Are you willing to do that?
Yeah, I'd like to do it for it, yeah.
Well, isn't there a balancing act between, the Wolfman, and the other, you still, I mean, the Young Victoria is the perfect combination of something that's widely seen and a great performance.
But it's not, it probably won't be as widely seen as something like The Wolfman, which will rake in all the fanboys, and it'll get bums and seats, because it's the shock factor and everything that surrounds the mystique of the Wolfman. But I think for something like Victoria, I think people will see. I think it'll be a word of mouth film. But it was a real passion project. So there's some films you feel like, am I selling out? Is this something that's so soul destroying? You do one for them and one for you. Try and keep the balance,
Because the studio pictures, you have. It's such a different kind of acting. It's such a different kind of hitting your mark and being on for that moment, and not necessarily building the same kind of performance. Am I putting that right?
You're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, it depends because some studio films, when I did Devil Wears Prada, we were given an incredible amount of room to play, but that's down to the director as well. If he's like, no, let them play, let them improv, we're going to change the lines, they don't need to just stick to the script. And me and Annie just would do what we wanted, and so that was wonderful. So it can work, but I think the more the budget is, the more eyes there are upon it, and the more it's just too many cooks in the kitchen for me, because the collaboration is the joy of it, and that's where you can strike gold or not. But when it's, no, we're sticking to the script and we don't care how cliched it is, that's what we need. So for me, cliche is something I've always found quite hard to swallow. So when I feel like I'm doing a scene which I've seen in a million other movies, that's quite tough sometimes.
And the pressure, of course, from your agency, CAA, would
Yeah.
be, you know, we want you to do the big movie.
It's funny because Chris, my agent, is very he's very nurturing.
Andrews?
Chris Andrews, yeah.
We like him.
He's the best, yeah. And he's very hardworking, and he's got real great taste. And he's the one who's encouraged me to do the smaller projects and to do it, because he knows what I'm like as well. So he sends me scripts that he knows I'm going to respond to, because if he sends me something, or if he pitches me, he will pitch something to me sometimes on the phone, and I'll go quiet, and he'll be like, I can tell you don't like it. Okay, we'll move on. Because I'm picky, I think. But he knows me very well, and he likes to find the passion projects, because he knows that's where I'm going to be at my best as well. Works out better for everyone.
What was it like working with Matt Damon?
Awesome. I saw him last night. It's awesome. He's just great. You know, he's made for it, this business and this job. It's just so easy for him.
And yet he's held on to a certain kind of integrity.
Oh,
hasn't he?
he's full of integrity, and he's super honest and laid back about it. And he's got a wonderful wife, and his kids are great. And that's really what he cares about more than anything, is whether they're okay.
Where are you living these days? Where do you
Here.
spend most of your
Here,
time?
yeah.
Yeah? And
Yeah,
how,
I'm
do you
here.
like it?
It's an adjustment, but I really like the world I've created here for myself. I mean, when I first came here, I loathed it, honestly I did. I was like so removed from what I knew in London, and I loved that on London you can walk down the streets, and you get it in New York as well, and you can just feel people, and you can brush against them, and there's something about the camaraderie with strangers that I really have always liked. And so being in LA, which is a town of cars and no one walks anywhere, and you go from house to house, and that was quite hard at first, but I have wonderful friends here, and there are great cafes. So friends and cafes, you'll be in business in LA.